Aloha, I'm Hawaii County Mayor Mitch Roth, and on behalf of the people of the County of Hawaii, I want to thank you for taking time to remember our fallen heroes, those soldiers that gave their lives so that we may have the freedoms that we have in this country. And no one better to tell you about that than my friend, Colonel Deb Lewis. Aloha.
I'm Colonel Deb Lewis, and you might have guessed from my uniform, I actually served in the military. If I was in civilian clothes, you might not recognize that, and I want you to understand that for all veterans. You may not know them unless you ask them whether or not they served. But I served 34 years, to include commanding in combat a $2.1 billion construction program. I'm one of the lucky ones. I was able to return home and be able to settle and retire in this beautiful island that we call the Big Island. But there were many before me who were not given that choice. They served and never returned, or they sacrificed and they died far too young because they were serving our country. Now, there was a gentleman named Sun Tzu who lived over 2,500 years ago, who said the greatest victory is that which there is no battle. Unfortunately, the norm is conflict, not peace. And every generation has had to secure that peace for the rest of us. Today, I hope that you will think about each and every one who sacrificed. And I'm not talking about the millions who have died over time in wars, which is terrible. But I want you to think about the loved ones who were lost and never returned. There was a lieutenant on the west side. He died at 27 in combat, saving his men. He left behind a wife, 4 kids, plus he had 3 sisters, 2 brothers, and grandparents, and all his friends and family. That's what every death means when we die too young or we don't come back. And so today, we have faced a war of coronavirus, where people died. And when you look at the numbers, they're staggering. But when you think of the one each people, every one of them mattered. And sadly, we lost 27 veterans at our veterans home during the year. And they served our country, and we'd like to honor them today and remember their sacrifices. How can you do something that will make this day even more special? Is talk about service. Talk about what it's like, not in the context that the media wants you to talk about, where it's awful and terrible, but talk about the individuals who sacrificed. When our veterans don't return, we need to make sure we continue to take care of families. I know people who have lost loved ones 50 years ago, and it's as if they left yesterday. They still mourn that loss, celebrate the beauty of having them in their lives. But for everyone who has served, and that's in every category, all the services that we have, and also all the ways that they support us daily, our police, our fire, our EMT, our hospitals, those people on the front line who protect us every day and are no longer with us because they served. Memorial Day is that day to honor those individuals. And now, I'd like to tell you that being here is such a great honor. For you to take time to even think about this day is important. If we don't remember the past, we will repeat the mistakes. We need to build a better future, and I know it's in great hands on our island. So please, thank you and celebrate Memorial Day this year. For all those veterans, I salute you. Thank you for your service.